This is some weird, uncanny valley shit going down here. Alita Battle Angel, released in 2019 and is directed by Robert Rodriguez, who has directed such films like Spy Kids, Spy Kids 2, The Island of Lost Dreams, Spy Kid 3D, Game Over, Machete, Machete Kills, Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, and The Faculty. Oh, he directed Faculty? I love that movie, it's so good. And this film is starring Rosa Salazar, Christoph Waltz, Keenan Johnson, Ed Skieran, Jackie Earle Haley, Jennifer Connelly, and Mahershala Ali. That's some pretty big names in there. Some names I haven't seen in a little bit, so... okay. Let's do this. It is the 26th century, and Earth has been devastated by a catastrophic war known as the Fall. And in our world, there is a gigantic floating city known as Iron City that oversees the remains of the city that is on the ground from before, where people struggle to make a living, scrounge around for parts, and watch a rollerball sport thing? Like the movie Rollerball? Really? And in this wasteland, Dr. Dyson is a steampunk surgeon who creates a bunch of prosthetics for almost everyone in this entire film, and while scrounging around for parts in the wasteland, finds an almost 100% intact android that he later calls Alita. And Dyson raises Alita as his own daughter, but Alita feels like there's more to her because she has lost her memory. So we have a plot of Alita discovering her backstory and where she comes from, and then there's also a hidden storyline in here where Dr. Dyson is not only a doctor, but he is also a bounty hunter of people with steampunk arms and legs and bodies things. Yup. So I remember watching this trailer, and I remember not feeling much of anything about it. To me, it just felt like, oh, it's another dystopian future thing, and then there's one, like, prophesized person to bring down the entire regime, which is something that, you know, we've seen 100 times before. But really, this movie didn't end up being that a lot, I think. Yes, I think with maybe more installments in this universe, or maybe a TV series on a streaming network, maybe we would have gotten down a plot like that, where Alita is going to go challenge Nova, who runs the whole flying city, but we never see in this movie. We just know of Nova, who can infiltrate people's minds and take them over so that they can talk to whatever henchmen they need to talk to and give exposition to move the plot along. Reasons, plot, cause that's what I felt a lot with this movie. It's just, oh, that's that, and that's happening. Cause. Now, nothing can deny and take away from this movie that the visual effects here are amazing. They are seamless. It doesn't even feel like there's visual effects, and that's what I was saying at the beginning of this review. This uncanny valley motion capture, performance capture to CGI in the computer, and the way that they're able to combine the things, it's eerie. It's so good. It looks so freaking real. So that's the big design thing about this character, Alita. This whole thing, I guess, is based on a manga or an anime. I don't know the difference, and I don't mean to offend. I know that there are huge fandoms with those. I don't know them, so please go easy on me. I mean no offense. But the big design of her is that she has these big, or at least not like obtrusively big, but these bigger, like, CGI eyes. But 5 minutes into it, you don't even realize that they're there. You just go like, oh, yeah, that's pretty normal. Even when Alita is standing side by side with Christoph Waltz, who appears to be just a regular human being with no CGI added, you go, yeah, those two look like normal people. It's uncanny valley. It's freaky. It can be unsettling if you realize what's going on here. Computers, robots, all of these things are gonna fuck us humans up in the future. So be nice to them now. If you have an Alexa or if you have a Google Play at home, always say please and thank you. Politeness is gonna get you a long way when the whole IT tech apocalypse starts. You know, I'm gonna go a long way. I always say please and thank you to my Google Play. And even when you take the uncanny valleyness of these characters and put them into just a screen of just CGI splooge on the screen, it still looks believable. It still looks great, and it still looks amazing. There are films that came out in the past year that you look at something, you go, yeah, I can tell that that's completely fake. But here, you watch the rollerball, murder ball, motor ball, whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. At times it sounded like it was motorball, and then it was murder ball. It's rollerball. It's what they're playing. It's rollerball. When you watch those scenes, in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, I know this is fake, but looking at it, it looks pretty damn good. Now, if you take all of the CGI effects and all just the beautiful paintings and the colors that you see on screen, if you take all of that out, what you get here is a pretty bland and kind of confusing script here. And I'm left with questions of, why do I care? Our main character, Alita, is discovered and turned on by Dr. Dyson and put into this android body, and now she's going out and discovering the world, or at least rediscovering the world. And it looks like we're going down a storyline of her trying to remember her past. And that's a pretty good storyline for an entire movie. But here, like within 20-25 minutes, she finds out who she is and where she comes from. And you go, oh, okay, where are we going? Then we go to, hey, we're doing like this back alley, I'm a bounty hunter, I'm gonna go hunting storyline. Like, okay, that's a good storyline for its entire movie, but that's where we're going now. Let's do that. And then she does the bounty hunter thing, and then that's done. And then you're like, oh, okay, we're still going here. What are we doing next? And now we're playing sports. And sports ball, roller, motor, ball. Okay, that could be its own storyline. You see where I'm going with this. I don't know if these books of the original source material, that they're like, hey, let's take these grouping of like 5 different books and put them all into this one movie. It kind of feels like that. But I just want to say, oh my god, pick one. And then if one is good, then we'll go on to more sequels, and then you'll be able to tell more stories. And it's not divided up into chapters. Like, no, we're just going straight through as if this is all one narrative, but the narrative is going up and down and all around. I'm checking my watch, and that's never a good thing. Checking my watch, I'm pausing just to see how much longer I have with this movie. Which I hated to say that I did, because I do like the core of this movie. I like the core of these characters, at least our main characters here. But in terms of the plot and the conflict of what they're fighting against or what they're moving towards, it's whatever the movie wants, I guess. And it ends up ending with Alita vowing to take down Nova in the Sky City above because he's ruling things? I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's that bad of a guy. All that we're seeing is that he hired a bunch of rollerballers to take out Alita when she was playing rollerball, which, I mean, that's pretty evil for her, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not... It's a sport. It's nothing... means nothing. That's where I think the main confusion is. This film thinks that it's being so much more profound than what it's actually being. The visual effects that it's introducing to the world and that it's presenting is amazing. That is, without question, incredible, and that's what all of us should be taking away. But in terms of messages, in terms of plot, in terms of story, I'm sorry, what you're selling me is not that big of a deal to me. Maybe I'm in the minority here, but I'm kind of lost, and I'm lost and I don't care. The only person I really care about the most is that dog. And unfortunately, this is another John Wick situation. Slight little spoiler, but I mean, in this world, and you see a dog, you go, God, you don't have long to live, don't you? And then when it happens, you go, okay, you're gonna die, and if these characters don't kill you, I'm gonna kill you, because that's my vow with every character from a movie who kills a puppy. You don't do that. Kitties, too. Kitties and puppies, they're the same. Christoph Waltz, who is a fantastic actor, I think he does the most he can with what he is given. He's probably, in terms of the acting performances, he's the best out of everyone. Rosa Salazar, I think, does an amazing job with her performance capture. Rosa Rosa Rosa. I haven't watched any documentaries or any behind the scenes stuff to see just how much of her performance is what we get here. I mean, I'm sure it's an Andy Serkis type quality performance where Andy Serkis does all the performance of Gollum and Caesar, and then it's just captured by a computer, and then just stuff is added on top of what he is doing. I'm sure that's what she's doing as well. Jennifer Connelly is here, who I haven't seen in a very long time, but her character feels very inconsequential to the entire thing. Like, you would think that she's like an overseer of a section of all of the people down here, or maybe up in the Sky City or whatever. But nope, she's really a manager of a motorball team. And that makes her a big deal, really? I don't... Sports? What? And the same goes for Mahershala Ali, who is like the main catalyst for Nova, the big evil person who we never see. It's like the catalyst for him to teleport his mind into him so that Nova can talk to Jennifer Connelly through him. And you get a lot of that. So you kind of go like, well, who's actually Mahershala Ali's character? I mean, I'm finding more out about Nova through Mahershala Ali than Mahershala Ali's character through Mahershala Ali. What's happening here? I feel like all I'm doing is dogging on this movie, and I don't mean to, because there are a lot of great things about this. I do have the urge to want more from this universe. I'm not sure if I want another film, though. I mean, this whole concept, this whole universe feels perfect for a streaming service or just a small run TV show or something. I think the movie is a pretty good time. I will be honest, though, in terms of like what actually happened, I'm struggling to tell you and to remember, like, okay, what was the message and what actually happened in this movie? Because I can't really... I know like little bits and little events that happen, but the overall thing, I'm failing to realize what this whole thing was for. And that's a problem. But like what I said, some of the performances and then just the overall Uncanny Valley visual effects here are amazing and a leap forward for many film studios to copy in the future. Yeah, I think it's good for a one-time watch, but I don't see myself going back and watching this multiple times because it just didn't really pull me in at all. I'm gonna give Alita Battle Angel 3 out of 5 Blu-rays.
Not exactly what I had in mind, but not bad.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm gonna be watching next, so let's take a look. Spiderman does whatever a Spiderman does. Spider-Man, the original from 2002. Wow, that feels really old of me to say. The original from 2002, it makes it seem like a classic, which now that I'm thinking about it is almost 20 years old. Wow. You know, people always credit X-Men from 2000 being the first big superhero movie to really push the whole superhero comic book genre forward into pop culture and into the public eye. Some people even say that Blade from 1998, I believe, is what it's from. People say that that was the first one because he is a Marvel character, of course. To me, though, when it comes to getting it into the popular pop culture, to the public eye, it was Spider-Man from 2002. X-Men were popular, of course. Some people knew who Blade was. Spider-Man is a universal character. When you make a list of the top 10 greatest comic book superheroes of all time, you'll have Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man. Those are going to be your top 3 every single time. Tobey Maguire, Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, who I gotta say, I'm missing Green Goblin. I haven't seen him in many years, and he's a really good character, and he was a really good villain. I remember just loving this movie. So we'll check out Spiderman next time. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, you can leave a recommendation below this video, or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter, leave your recommendation there, and if I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout on the channel. And if you want me to do your recommendation as quickly as I possibly can and bypass the whole random generator that I have here, you can make a PayPal donation on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do, just attach your movie with the donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it and publish my review of it as quickly as I possibly can. So guys, if you've seen Alita Alita Battle Angel. What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Spider-Man. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.